Hey true entertaining fans, this is Luca Q 020394 here, and today I'll be doing my WWE No Way Out 2012 review for the 18th of June 2012. Please rate thumbs up and please leave your comments down below in the description below and tell me what your thoughts and tell me what you thought about the No Way Out pay-per-view, and leave your comments about what is the future of John Laurinaitis, and leave your comments about what do you think about the future of John Cena, what they're going to do with John Cena now when he beat Big Show last night. So yeah, cheers. Before we start No Way Out review, I'd like to say thank you for all the comments and everything, for getting me all subscribers and getting me all these likes from my last video, No Way Out 2012 predictions. I got nearly 700 viewers, and I'm very happy with that. That took me about 2 weeks to get me them viewers, and I'm very happy. I'll like at least 1,000 viewers by the end of the week, and thanks very much for all the nice comments, and I really appreciate it. So now let's kick off with my No Way Out review and also what you think about it. Okay, first match, we had the pre-show, Brodus Clay versus David Otunga. Well, be honest, this match was being put on the wild card. But I don't know why WWE have to announce random matches with Brodus Clay and David Otunga. They need to start building a feud, because I can see what's happening. Brodus Clay's been attacked by the Big Show, but I can see Brodus and Clay and Big Show having a feud. But we'll get onto that situation in the main event later on. Okay, Brodus Clay defeated Otunga. Otunga got injured at the start of the match. Then Brodus Clay tries to fight back, then Otunga beats him down barely to a 2 count, and then Brodus Clay finishes him off with and knocks Otunga down with a suplex, and Brodus Clay wins. Next we have Josh Matthews interviewing John Cena about tonight's steel cage against the Big Show, and cuts a promo about John Laurinaitis will be fired tonight, and Cena says he's the face of the WWE and he will start moving on from No Way Out. Next, the first match of the wild card, the World Heavyweight Championship match, Dolph Ziggler versus Sheamus. The first match with this match was okay with Dolph Ziggler and Sheamus. It was an okay World Heavyweight Championship match, not the best World Heavyweight Championship match. We've seen this match so many times on Raw and SmackDown, on a Super Show, whatever, so many times, and last year between Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler. But be honest, we saw not many spots in this match. We saw 1 or 2 spots in this match. Sheamus took control of the match. Dolph Ziggler connects with a dropkick, and Sheamus sends Ziggler into the apron mat, and then with another shoulder, Dolph Ziggler comes out and goes with the sleeper, but he can't lock it in, and Dolph Ziggler ends up right back and knocks Dolph Ziggler off to the top, and then Sheamus launches himself over the top rope, and then Dolph Ziggler goes up, and Sheamus catches him from mid-air, and then Dolph Ziggler counters out another 2 count, and Dolph Ziggler tries to go for the zigzag, but Sheamus counters it, tried to go for a brown kick, and then Ziggler counts it into a DDT, and Sheamus uses the white noise, and then Sheamus picks up the win. So, pretty good win for Sheamus, and I wonder what WWE are going to do with Sheamus, and leave your comments down below that. What do you think Sheamus' next feud now? Because with Randy Orton's not that far. Jericho has quit the WWE now, and Randy Orton is possibly not that far coming back. The end of July he'll be back, so maybe we could see a blockbuster showdown. We're meant to see Randy Orton Brock Lesnar, but who knows? But Randy Orton's going to face possibly Sheamus, or maybe Wade Barrett's going to cash in Money in the Bank. He'll be watching this from home and come back at Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and then Wade Barrett's probably going to face Sheamus at Money in the Bank. But I wonder how SmackDown going to announce Wade Barrett in the Money in the Bank. I wonder how they're going to announce Barrett return, like a promo or something like that. So yeah, so Sheamus picked up the win. Then we had Vince McMahon backstage interviewing about tonight's match, and then next we had Ricardo Rodriguez versus Santino Marella. Santino Marella won. It was a match with a tuxedo. This match was garbage. Next we had the Intercontinental title match, Cody Rhodes versus Christian. This match went back and forward, back and forward. This was a great bloody match. Really entertaining Intercontinental title match. Back and forth for the Intercontinental title. Christian was dominating the match. and then, but I'll be honest, Christian retained the Intercontinental Championship, and then they were going back and forth. Christian pulls Cody from the legs around the ring and post, then Cody pulls him out on the post. Then Cody brings Christian back into the ring, suplex. And then Cody goes back to work in Christian's arm. Christian goes to the top and ends up outside. And then Cody shoves him. Cody Rhodes slams Christian into the steel steps and hits a big tornado DDT from the steps floor. Then Christian goes for the kilt switch, but Cody counters. Then Christian goes for the big right hand on the floor, but counters. Then Christian goes up to the top body with a crossbody, and then Christian climbs with Cody and brings him back down with a Hurricanrana from a 2 count, and then Christian relied to the spear from Cody Rhodes and scrambled out, and then Christian going for another spear again, and then Christian from the top rope, then Christian picked up the win. So it was a good match, and I'll give it 5.5 out of 10. Next we had the Fatal 4-Way determined #1 contendership for the vacant WWE Tag Team titles. We had Primo Epico v Tyson Kidd, Justin Gabriel, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young and Usos in a Fatal 4-Way #1 contender tag team elimination tag team match, whatever it is. First we start in the ring, we had Primo and Epico with AW and Rosa Mendez on the sides. Tyson Kidd and Justin Gabriel are out next, and Titus O'Neil and Darren Young and Usos come out and do their Samoan War dance, their New Zealand dance, rugby dance. And then the winners will be the new #1 contenders for the WWE Tag Team titles. And then, as the match starts off, this match was a really good tag team match. We saw loads of fantastic ability in this match. We saw loads of talent in this match. Because I like the way WWE have been in young talent tag team champions. Because I can see like stars like Primo and Epico, Justin Gabriel, Tyson Kidd. They could be like the old legendary tag teams like the Edge and Christians, the Hardy Boys, the Dudley Brothers, the Hardcore Holies. These could be future tag team champions. If only we saw at least bring back 1 or 2 extra tag teams, like bring Christian and Jericho in a tag team, or maybe bring Miz and David Otunga in a tag team. Maybe put someone experienced, like someone like a Christian in there, or someone like a Jericho in there, that can go in and win tag team titles and make the tag team division very interesting. But this match was overall, it was a pretty good tag team match. I really enjoyed it, and I give it, out of stars, I give it 4.5 out of 10. Next we had the WWE Divas Championship, Beth Phoenix versus Layla. As we start off, they go and start the match with Layla. Layla dominates this match, and Beth taunts Layla and says she can't lace her boots, and Beth yells to the fans and screams, and Layla comes out and drop kicks her, and Layla mocks Beth now and impersonates her, and then Beth charges Layla down onto the floor, and Beth Phoenix tries and dominates the match, and then Layla turns into a big DDT from the height from another pin attempt, and Beth picks up Layla and rams her back to the corner. And Layla comes out with a neck breaker, great counter, and that's it. This was a not bad Divas Championship match. WWE are trying to, now, these type of Divas matches, now they're trying to make Divas matches stronger. Because that, remember what I said last year, in the last previous pay-per-view reviews, I said that the need to make the Divas Championship matches longer, but at pay-per-views they make it longer. And now, when it's like a Raw, SmackDown, or Super Show, or Superstars, or an NXT, they make the matches shorter. If WWE can try and make the matches longer, at least 10 minutes or something like that, Divas Championship match, not like 2 or 3 minutes, then it'd be okay for the Divas Championship. But apparently, when is Karma supposed to be back? Because she was supposed to be in labour, but basically, Karma was meant to have a feud with Beth Phoenix at WrestleMania. Beth Phoenix was meant to win the Divas Championship. Karma did return at the Royal Rumble and cut a promo about herself, how long she'd been out, and she'll become Divas Champion in the future. But Karma came from TNA. But as you can see, Karma and Layla would be really good as a top heel Divas Champion against a babyface, so it'd be interesting. Next we had Sin Cara and Hunico. Sin Cara defeated Hunico with a drop kick, and then Hunico stopped Sin Cara with the boots from the corner, and then Sin Cara with a faceplant finisher, splash, and Sin Cara picked up the win. Next, we've got a promo for the WWE title match. Next, the WWE Championship match. We had Kane v Daniel Bryan, CM Punk in a triple threat match for the WWE Championship. Before the match started, Justin Roberts was speaking to CM Punk, and CM Punk saying that all this rivalry between AG and Kane and Daniel Bryan, that CM Punk has said he's the best in the world and he's won all his matches, and CM Punk just talk about he's going to take the WWE Championship. But before the match starts, guys, as this feud between CM Punk, Kane and Daniel Bryan, this rivalry has actually not been too bad. Some parts of it was very interesting, because when I was in my last No Way Out predictions, I said that it was going to be Punk and Daniel Bryan feud. I thought this feud would be over. But with Kane brought into this rivalry with AG Lee, it's sort of like kind of got interesting in the storyline, as you can see that I was thinking that I thought Kane was going to work with CM Punk, because as soon as this match was announced on Raw, I really got confused and I was going to actually make a vid and talk about this triple threat match, but luckily I didn't. But I swear that Kane's actually going to be a babyface very soon, but they're trying to work on Kane's character, because they're trying maybe possibly put Kane into another title run as they did in 2010 into towards the beginning of 2011. But basically, I like the way Kane's top heel, the rise above the hate and all that, and then CM Punk and Daniel Bryan feud. This has really been interesting, because they are the two best wrestlers in the company. They know how to put a show on, and with them two on SmackDown instead of Raw, you lose them on Raw, then WWE is going to be fucked, and then you're going to have to bring old wrestlers back, like Shawn Michaels and the Stone Colds. But now let's get on to the match, and we'll discuss it after. Next, the bell rings, and then Kane strikes with CM Punk, and then Bryan and CM Punk work together and hit Kane in the chest, and Kane pushes Daniel Bryan off, and then goes back to CM Punk, and then Bryan unloads Kane, but then Kane grabs a double choke slam to Bryan and CM Punk, and the crowd chants say yes, 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 and then the fans will start saying, let's go CM Punk, yes, 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 and then Kane went down with a bunch of kicks, and they trade the pin and the attempt to stop each other from getting the pin, and then CM Punk and Daniel Bryan use their trade shots in the middle of the ring, and then Punk fires back forearms and dumps Daniel Bryan to the floor, and CM Punk charges in, but Kane goes with a clothesline on him to a 2 count, and then Kane works over on CM Punk until Daniel Bryan hits him behind and sends him onto the floor, and Punk on the springboards, and CM Punk and Daniel Bryan fighting back and forward, and keep using enziguris and submissions and stuff. And then Kane goes down from the kick, and then CM Punk ducks it in, rolls up into Daniel Bryan, and Punk makes it into a high knee. And then Kane blocks the bulldog, and then CM Punk with the neck breaker on Kane gives Daniel Bryan the advantage, and then CM Punk with the power slam on Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk climbs to the top, but Daniel Bryan cuts him off, and then Daniel Bryan climbs up with a suplex, and then CM Punk goes for the GTS, and then Kane with a big massive boot ran into AG Lee, and then after that she was laid on the floor, like not quite unconscious, but she just fell on the floor, and then CM Punk went for the GTS, and then CM Punk retained the WWE Championship. This WWE Championship was really good WWE Championship match. I liked this. The feud was actually quite interesting part of the storyline, bringing Kane and AG Lee towards Daniel Bryan and Kane are both heels. CM Punk's a top baby face, and I like the way that AG Lee's a heel. And what I don't get is with this feud is, guys, that why is AG Lee like keep kissing Daniel Bryan, CM Punk and Kane? Because she's trying to trick one of them. Because I can see what's happening. I can see AG Lee tricking CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, and I can see she'll maybe go for CM Punk, because she loved CM Punk so much. Because the way I can see this feud happening, because I will be doing my Money in the Bank predictions in the next couple of days or so, but I can see the CM Punk and Daniel Bryan rivalry. I can see this feud running to Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and maybe someone from Raw will cash in Money in the Bank, and then CM Punk will probably have a feud, whoever, maybe Lord Tenzai will win the Raw Money in the Bank, and then Punk will face Lord Tenzai at SummerSlam for the WWE Championship. So yeah, so I give this match 6.5 out of 10. Next we had Ryback versus two men in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Rookies Dan Daly and Rob Grimas. Ryback picked up the win. Next, the main event. The main event we've always been talking about. The steel cage. John Cena versus The Big Show. The main event, if John Cena loses, then John Cena's fired. If John Cena wins and John Laurinaitis is fired, and he gets kicks out and he says the two classic words, "You're fired." So yeah, okay, let's start with the main event, as we can get this out of the way. Okay, this was quite difficult to say. This main event was kind of boring a little bit, because we didn't really see much entertaining in this match between John Cena and The Big Show. And Big Show almost hits a choke slam, and then John Cena fights back, and the Big Show overpowers and knocks John Cena down. When Big Show tosses John Cena, Big Show tries to knock him out, and then, as we can see, Big Show with another 2 count out, and Big Show goes for the second rope, and then hits the Big Slam. Big Show tries to lift John Cena on top rope, and Buck grabs the throat, and then after that, Vince Kennedy McMahon tries to run in and make sure Big Show doesn't climb out of the steel cage, and then John Laurinaitis grabs him, and then hits Vince McMahon, and he's knocked out on this, and hits him around on the steel cage, and then the referee was knocked out, and then after that, a bunch of WWE superstars, and the ones who took out took out by the Big Show, like Brodus Clay came out with a steel chair, Zack Ryder, Kofi Kingston, Santino, Alex Riley. Why were these local wrestlers, why were these wrestlers going to be involved anyway? Because as I can see the storyline between this, I can see after Big Show lost last night, I could see maybe Brodus Clay turning on John Cena, maybe Brodus Clay feuding with John Cena as a heel. Brodus Clay works with John Cena for a bit and he turns the heel and tries to pick Johnny back. Or maybe Brodus Clay has a feud with the Big Show after Brodus Clay cost the Big Show the match when John Cena was climbing up out of the steel cage, and then Big Show was trying to come out and try and escape from the cage from the door, and John Cena picked up the win. And then after that, Vince McMahon came, and then he said the 2 classic words, "You're fired." So as he said that, and then after that, John Cena hit the attitude adjustment, and then John Cena's music hit, and then that's it really. So, as we can say, thank God there's no more people power crap. John Laurinaitis is fired. Thank God for that. And hopefully Raw can be better. Bring the McMahon family back and make Raw very interesting. Heading towards the 23rd of July for the 1000th episode. We're bringing loads of returns back. Okay. As my opinion, my overall of this pay-per-view, this was an okay pay-per-view. It was not bad. It was worth of watching. Be honest, I only watched the pay-per-view this morning because I had to get up for college. And I give this pay-per-view 7.5 out of 10 because it was an okay pay-per-view. But the problem is the matches were good, but the show, it quite hyped up a little bit because it was grabbing too much long, and the program finished early, the pay-per-view, about 3:40 in the morning. It finished about 20 minutes early or something like that. And then, overall, we saw quite a few good matches. My favourite matches was Christian and Cody Rhodes for the IC title, and CM Punk and Daniel Bryan and Kane, the Intercontinental title match, and the tag team match. They were the only 3 things I really enjoyed. So I give it 7.5 out of 10. And so this is a Luka Q 020394, and hope you liked my No Way Out review 2012. And please press the like button. As you can see, the like button on YouTube. And also, please leave your comments down below. And please subscribe in the subscribe button up the top. And please leave your comments about your No Way Out review and what is the future of John Laurinaitis and John Cena. So leave your comments about your pay-per-view. Please subscribe. Laters.